Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and a warm welcome if you're new, honey. So today we are going to talk about Charles James Kirk, aka Charlie Kirk, who actually was having some type of convention or event at a college campus, and he ended up getting shot in the middle of a debate. So a lot has come out. I waited a while so that we could get like some updates on the story. So if you guys are ready to get into this story, along with some clips that happened at the event, just stay tuned. Charlie Kirk was a conservative political activist and a very close ally of President Trump's. And it looks like he was shot and killed early yesterday afternoon at an event at Utah Valley University. Mr. Kirk was 31 years old, and he was on the university's campus in Orem, Utah, for the first stop on his American comeback tour, in which he was set to visit multiple campuses across the country in order to talk about conservative politics, in order to engage in question and answer sessions. So these sessions normally looked like a debate, and sometimes they would get heated, sometimes they would come to a conclusion and both agree, but most times they would really just keep their separate political stances, which was totally fine, but it was pretty cool that they were able to talk about it. Now, personally, I'm not big on politics, and I won't say that everything he said I agreed with, because honestly, I do not. However, I can respect the fact that he wanted to go out there and kind of influence more people to talk about politics, because that's what he was so into. And also, I do think that it is a very positive thing to go to college campuses and kind of like stimulate the brains of the youth and see if politics is maybe something that they want to do. Like, do you really want to see a change? Okay, well, this is one way that you're really able to do it. Being in politics, having positions of power, as we all know, it's almost a surefire way to at least be a bigger part of things when it comes to making a change. For those who have never seen him before, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of his work, but I will say it looked like I got this from the side of Twitter that really seemed to like him, so I don't know if this is biased or not, but this is just him speaking about what he does.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assaults. The left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put it on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
Well, hearing him explain himself and explain his cause, I really respect the fact that he wants people to go out and talk to each other instead of, fighting with each other and potentially causing a war or causing discourse within the community, when we really could just have a conversation and either get on the same page or just agree to disagree. So while he was out doing what he loves as usual, he stopped by Utah Valley University as a part of that tour that I was talking about earlier. And with this tour, he was about 20 minutes into some type of a debate with one of the attendees. And that's when you see him getting shot in the neck. Yes, shot in the neck. And then blood just starts leaking. Like, I'm almost certain that they hit one of those major arteries in your neck. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was dead on impact, because it was so bad. This whole incident was said to have gone down early afternoon yesterday, so a little bit past noon. And the university said that the shooter had to have been on the roof of Lossy Center, I think, and it's about 100 yards, like right in front of this whole little convention going on. I do have two different clips of the shooting. One is close up and one is far away, but we're going to start with the far away one because the close up one is crazy, and I really hope I do not get flagged for this.
We're not counting gang violence. Great. We're not counting gang violence. Great. We're not counting gang violence. Great.
Yeah, and if you think that's bad, child.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
This is literally so up close, so personal, and so disturbing. Somebody called Owning the Float said, breaking, this angle shows Charlie Kirk's team taking him to the ground, immediately putting pressure on the wound to slow bleeding, allowing him to reach the hospital alive. Prayers. This next video shows Charlie Kirk and his team probably walking to the car so they can get him transported to the hospital. Everyone in that area is literally going crazy. There is pandemonium everywhere. There's a shooter that people still don't know if he's on the loose or not. And I love to see security with a pep in their step. I mean, they are hurrying up. They're getting him out of there. They're putting pressure on the wound as soon as it happened. Unfortunately, it kind of was in vain because he ended up passing away. But they definitely took the steps that were needed to save a life if it was possible to save his life. But I just think the injuries were just way too crazy. But guys, we are also going to go through the dispatch audio. So the dispatch audio, it was just a 911 call that was made talking about this situation. So let's go ahead and listen.
UVU by the Soundstand reported one individual that was shot, unknown where the shooter went. UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information.
418 copy. How many injured do we have?
Just one person. Sounds like maybe another individual in the car. We're not sure if they're a patient or if they're just trying to get out of the area.
We do have officers following the victim to Timpanogos Hospital.
Just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle.
To UVU, there was one shot. We are staging at the front of the school by the roundabout.
Is on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest.
Copy. Can you confirm with PD? Do they have the shooter in custody?
Your DPS is requesting us try and get that motorcycle stopped, maybe a suspect in that shooting. What was your traffic?
Is possibly a suspect from the shooting, if we can try and get that vehicle stopped.
As you can hear in the audio, it sounds like over time they're starting to get more and more frantic. And also they mentioned that they are starting to get a lot of calls coming in. So I think the intensity of the calls is really kind of messing with obviously like the dispatchers and the police, because they're like, whoa, okay, yes, we got a call about a shooting, but now we're getting a call from 100 people about this same shooting. This is big. And I'm sure you also heard them mentioning and describing a man wearing black who had a rifle who was running on a roof. Well, there's actually video footage of this man on a roof and somebody caught it on accident. So let's go look at that. Right off the bat, I'm like, are we sure this isn't like a pillar or something on top of the building? But then you can see as the camera pans, it gets closer to like this one stationary like little thing on top of the building. It's definitely moving, and whatever it is, it's moving fast. Like there's no way that you can go from this point, you see like the closeness and distance from the person and whatever that is on the roof to this close. That's so wild to me because he knew there would be so much commotion and he really thought he could just slip away. But your crazy, stupid criminal brain didn't think about the fact that there's going to be so many cameras, so many people, so many different angles of videos to record. Boom, you got caught in 4K. Okay, maybe it's not 4K, but y'all know what I mean. But anyway, there were some people that were really sad about his death, and there were some people who thought his death was very ironic because of his standpoint on gun laws. More specifically, what he said himself and the relation to what he said to his demise. Back in 2023, Charlie Kirk said, "I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights." And of course, in a way, this kind of is ironic because he unfortunately died due to gun violence, and he did say it's pretty much worth it so that we have the Second Amendment. And yes, once you get past the irony, in my opinion, I feel like that's kind of noble, because it's basically saying like there's going to be sacrifices, but there's sacrifices for the greater good. At least we still have the freedoms to protect ourselves and bear arms and, all that. So it's worth that. But never did he say that he would be a part of the statistic, nor do any of us really expect him to know that this is how he was going to pass away. Now, you guys remember earlier how I said that he was one of President Donald Trump's allies? Well, of course, Donald Trump decided to go ahead and post on X and say something about the situation. He says, "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." He also decided to do a video broadcast on this topic as well, so let's watch that.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
You can tell that he was really hurt by hearing this news. And I completely understand, because if like a close friend of mine, or even like a close coworker, like, one of those coworkers you're cool with, you might not hang out with them outside of, work, because that ain't their business, but they're cool people. If you heard that they passed away, you'd be pretty upset too. So I can totally understand. But what I will say for sure is that he definitely is going to be missed by a lot of people, because it seemed like the whole internet was in an uproar when this information first came out, like, honestly. So there's actually a little interview that I saw that I wanted to leave off this video with, and it's basically someone asking him, like, what would you want to be remembered for if or when you passed away? And this is what he said.
You want to be remembered?
If I die,
everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
Charlie Kirk, thank you so much.
You guys do a great job.
I've got to admit, that's pretty admirable to want to be remembered for the courage of your faith. I normally hear people say like giving back to others or being like a positive impact, which are great things as well. But being remembered for the courage of your faith is so specific. That basically means if no one else agrees with you in this room. It does not matter. You are standing firm on what you believe in. So that means whatever morals, whatever values that he has instilled in him, he sticks to those and he stays to those forever, pretty much. And people like that, yeah, I know I've said it all video, but I can't help but to respect people like that because they are them full-heartedly. They don't care who they're around. They don't care what environment they're in. They are always going to be themselves. And honestly, I can say that he was most certainly remembered for that because I don't really know too much about him, like I said in the beginning, but what I do know about him is whatever values this guy has, he stands on them. And, you know, he carried that out to the very end. So, yeah. Now, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you're notified every time I post. And guys, please be like this in a way. Like, stand up for what you believe in. Stand tall. It doesn't matter who you're around. If this is what you believe in, then that's what you believe in. And that's who you are. That's a part of what makes you, you. So continue to just be yourself, y'all. And in the meantime, y'all be careful out here. Now, go ahead and express yourself, but make sure you in a safe environment because people will get to shooting. Unfortunately, some people, they cannot handle a debate and they will resort to violence. And it's very unfortunate, but it's just a fact. So, yeah, guys, stay safe because this world is cray-cray. Okay, love you. Bye.